Right, the crucial question is, do we want to know the truth? Are we happy? I can assure you that if you're not happy the way things are and you believe it could be so, so much better, there are steps that can be taken that do not involve protest marches. I'm still in favour, by the way, of activist groups who do engage in protests, peaceful protests, obviously. But if those in England, if you cast your mind back 3 years to the demonstrations about tuition fees, essentially it went like this. I mean, I knew quite a lot of people who were involved in that, and I can assure you that they were all intending to be peaceful, and as far as I know, they were. But I think I'm right in saying someone threw. I think it was that one. Someone threw a dustbin through the window of Topshop and smashed the window. Media all over it. Dave Gilmour of Pink Floyd's son climbed up a statue. He was drunk. That was all over the news. And someone egged the car of Charles and Camilla. And Egggate was all over the news for a week. I mean, please. So it doesn't really matter, even if it's 99.9% peaceful. It only takes one event. So that's kind of why I don't do protest marches, but I'm certainly not knocking people who do. Nowadays it's very easy to spread awareness and information. Even just having dialogues with people while negotiating the time-consuming business of tackling modern life is a useful step. Finally, although the rabbit hole is deep and the truth is often quite ugly, there's actually not that much to fear for most people, because most of the fear is irrational and of our own making. This would take a lot of time to explain, but if you read a lot about propaganda and the education system, what you will find, if you really open your mind, you will find that essentially from the day we are born, we have been conditioned to fear. And I will go into this. I'm going to do a blog about fear. I'm going to do a blog post about fear. But it's very, very subtle. All these things are incredibly subtle. It's not obvious. I think most people would, going back to advertising, most people would realise that you don't see a poster of a Big Mac on the wall and then immediately just go to McDonald's. I think probably children do. Don't mean to patronise children, but they tend to have that instinct. I think with adults, you've got to realise that advertising is subconscious. There's plenty of stuff about Edward Bernays. They did a poll at the end of the 20th century, the most significant man of the 20th century, and I think Einstein was a winner. They were considering Hitler, but it was felt that it wouldn't be feel good enough. Significant people could be the good guys or the bad guys. But I would put Edward Bernays there, although most people have never heard of him. They probably think he had a sauce named after him or something. But Edward Bernays, Bernays, very good documentary called The Century of the Self by Adam Curtis. The first part of that documentary particularly is worth looking at. Bernays was Sigmund Freud's uncle, and he took Freud's psychological work, and he turned it into advertising, which may sound harmless enough, but then when you realise that he helped the CIA engineer a coup in Guatemala in 1954 to help United Fruit regain control, then it's not quite as nice as it seems. But yeah, advertising, there's a whole other topic. Smells Like Human Spirit again. They're doing a very good series called Deconstructing Edward Bernays' Propaganda. He's done about 12 parts so far. Very good. Just to finish, so yes, there's not that much to fear because most of the fear is irrational and of our own making. You need far less than you think and are capable of infinitely more than you think. That sounds like a positive start. Right, so that's the intro. I'm going to leave it there. Probably the next podcast will be the Beatles one, and I will also I did a conversation last month. Unfortunately I didn't have a microphone then, so it's not quite the same quality, but should be fairly good. That was called A Conversation Between Free Thinkers, so that'll be up on the podcast fairly quickly. So that's it, and I will see you next time.